The following video demonstrates how to use Excel to quickly check the GST coding in a MYOB file. If you are an accountant or a bookkeeper, chances are you have been given your client's MYOB file, which they may have partly or even fully coded. Is there an easy or efficient way to check the accuracy of the client's GST coding? One way a good bookkeeper or accountant can check for errors in the client's GST coding is to create a GST detailed report and then review the transactions for missing or incorrect GST codes. The problem with this is there can be thousands of entries and hence it takes time. The temptation is not to check anything, it all takes too long and the client should have coded every single entry to perfection anyway. Well, hopefully there is, however, a way of creating a fast and easy report that can give instant information on where GST coding errors might be. Create your GST detailed accruals report but export it to Excel. Once the report has been exported and saved, open Excel. The file was saved as a tab-delimited file. You need to select all files when opening from Excel. When the file opens, Excel will require it be formatted. If you saved it as tab-delimited, all you need to do is select Finished. Your file will now open and should look something like this. At this point, the thing to do is to delete some columns and rows so you are only left with the data you need. What we are interested in is the date, name, details and GST percentage of all the transactions you are reviewing. Remember, there could be thousands of them, but you only need these 3 columns. Once you have sorted out your data, resave the file as an Excel workbook. This is important. Many Excel processing features are disabled when a file is in tab-delimited format. It is now time to sort your data. Go to the Data tab in Excel, select your data and filter it by name from A to Z. The sort will list all the GST-coded entries in alphabetical order. You can now use an Excel analysis tool that will give you an efficient and useful way of checking all the available information. The tool required is known as a pivot table. Like many functions in Excel, pivot tables are underused because accountants are often too busy to think about how useful they can be. Highlight and select the data in your spreadsheet and then insert a pivot table. The range you have selected will display and, as a rule, it is best to create the pivot table in a new sheet. Once you have inserted the pivot table, a pivot table field list will appear on the right-hand side of the new sheet. The title of each column will appear at the top. You need to select and drag the name field into the row label area and the rate column to the sum value area. Once you have done this, you need to change the sum value field function and change it to average. Click on the down arrow and then select value field settings. From here, select average. Note what is happening. The export from MYOB has attached a 0 or a 10 as the GST rate on all transactions. The classic GST errors most clients make is putting GST codes on transactions that are GST-free or not entering GST when it was claimable. By averaging the GST percentage data by name, the pivot table should produce a 0 or a 0.1. Names with unusual-looking averages often indicate coding errors. Huston packaging. Average GST 0.0571. Why? Go back to your data sheet. Huston packaging 10% GST, but for some reason 0% on the 17th of August, September 21st and June 29th. This could be quite correct, but it is unusual for GST codes to change like this. The point is you are able to target the entries. You know the name and the date. Finding it in MYOB will be easy. Here is another example: Metropolitan Electricity 0.0916. Why? Every entry has GST except the one on the 28th of February. This is starting to look like a GST coding error. Go back into MYOB, your GST report should be open. You know the name and you know the date. The entry will not take long to find. Open the bill and consider why the power account for February was GST-free. Expert Software Systems is about promoting the use of simple and available tools to help accountants and bookkeepers with day-to-day processing. Accounting does not have to be clerical and repetitive. Accounting staff working for businesses who feel that they must cut corners and shy away from checking anything, because it takes too long, are not helping their employees develop their analytical accounting and bookkeeping skills. Simple solutions and ideas such as the one demonstrated here can improve the quality of the work being done. At the same time, these principles also encourage accounting staff to both think about and create solutions to the challenges of working with computerized financial information.